When we watch a child interact with a new toy, we witness a complex internal process. The question is, do they invent their actions from scratch, or are they simply playing back behaviors they've seen elsewhere? In 1961, psychologist Albert Bandura designed a laboratory test to investigate this. He wanted to determine if children could learn something as complex as aggression through observation alone. At the time, many experts assumed that childhood was a period of inherent innocence. Hostile behavior was generally viewed as a biological drive or a response to personal frustration, rather than a habit picked up from the surroundings. Bandura's test centered on the Bobo doll, a large, inflatable toy with a weighted base. When pushed or struck, the doll was designed to immediately bounce back into an upright position. This rebounding mechanic made the doll a consistent target. It allowed Bandura to measure whether a child would treat a neutral object with hostility simply because they had witnessed an adult model do the same. Bandura divided the children into 3 groups. The first watched an adult strike the doll, kick it, and yell aggressive phrases. The second group watched a calm model play quietly, while the third observed no model at all. After the observation phase, the children were moved to a different room, containing a Bobo doll, and left alone. Researchers watched through a one-way mirror to record their unsupervised choices. The results were consistent. The children who had observed the aggressive adults bypassed other toys to confront the doll. They copied the specific physical strikes and repeated the exact aggressive vocabulary they had witnessed earlier. These sessions showed that complex behaviors did not need to be slowly developed over time or triggered by emotional distress. They could be acquired by a child in a single session of observation. Bandura formalized these findings into social learning theory, a framework that explains how we acquire new behaviors through our social environment. This process follows 3 cognitive steps. First, observation, where an action is witnessed. Second, imitation, where the action is initially copied, and finally, modeling. This is where a copied action is internalized as an acceptable standard of behavior. Despite its influence, the study faced significant ethical pushback. Critics questioned the morality of deliberately exposing toddlers to violent behavior in a laboratory setting to see if they would copy it. Methodological questions were also raised. Some argued that the children weren't acting out of genuine aggression, but were simply following what they perceived to be the rules or expectations of the experiment. While these critiques questioned the children's internal motivations, they did not change the physical outcome. The children had successfully acquired and performed a set of novel, complex behaviors they had never been taught. This moved the focus of developmental psychology away from internal nature and toward the external environment. Today, the single adult model in that 1961 room has been replaced. Mass broadcast media and digital screens are now the primary sources of observational learning for children. Bandura's findings apply directly to modern digital life. Unchecked internet access provides a constant stream of behaviors for young minds to witness and potentially model. When digital content is highly reactive or aggressive, it functions like the violent model, providing a template for immediate physical and verbal responses. However, this mechanism works for positive behaviors as well. If aggression can be learned via observation, then empathy and emotional regulation can be imported using the same cognitive pathways. For educators, this means actively demonstrating calm conflict resolution. Students learn best when they see adults physically model how to manage stress and navigate disagreements. Parents can apply this by narrating their own polite social interactions aloud and by curating the digital models their children are exposed to on their devices. A child's developing mind mirrors its surroundings. Because of this, society has a responsibility to ensure the models we provide, whether they are physical or digital, are worth reflecting.